Okay, welcome to our weekly Parsha share. It's right at the end. It's Parsha Zois Brocha, Taf Shim Pei Dalud, which, as Michael Novak has told us many times, is to finish Shachris Psukit Zimra. Now we are moving into Taf Shim Pei Hey, which is very simply Torah Shabbal Peh. Yeah, Torah Shabbal Peh. So I don't know if you know, this is what my understanding of Hasidus is really that the Baal Shem Tov brought back to us Torah Shabbal Peh. Simple as that. To really put it, to really summarize it down, he brought back Torah Shabbal Peh. That was a loaded statement, I understand, and maybe we'll explain it another time. So I have a seder in Oitzos Chaim from Chaim Vital, and where we're right at the end of it now, and he just brought a posuk from our parsha and tied it in with it gets all very drushy at the end with like nice ways of psukim and interesting stories and things like that, which it hasn't been until now. And he brought the pasuk Vayikbo Oisoi, and he buried him Began Eretz Moav, talking about the burial of Moshe Rabbeinu. Began Bagai Be'eretz Moav, in the valley of the land of Moav, Mul Beis Peor, opposite Beis Peor. V'lo yada ish es kvrasoi, and no one knows where he's buried ad hayom hazeh, until this day. Why did Moshe get buried opposite Beis Peor? That was to do with Baal Peor, the idol of Baal Peor. Why did Moshe have to get buried opposite Beis Peor? And why mention that? What's the Inyan? And why would the biggest tzaddik that the world's ever known, or arguably the biggest tzaddik the world's ever known, have to get buried in such a place by such an avodah zarah? The main avodah zarah of the Chumash, mamash, the main avodah zarah of the Chumash is Baal Peor. Why would he have to get buried opposite Baal Peor? Okay, so to understand this, we really need to understand the whole inyan of Elohim Acherim. What does it mean, other gods? Because there are no other gods. We're told that over and over and over and over again. Hashem Echad. There is no such thing as another God, but we keep talking about other gods. So what is other gods? What does it mean, avodah zarah? That is other gods. And we also have a problem because we know that reality always boils down to a choice between me and Hashem. There's no other option. There is nothing else to choose other than you or Hashem. There is no other gods. When you're choosing the football team, you're choosing yourself. When you're choosing the ham sandwich, or someone's choosing the ham sandwich, they're choosing themselves. When they're choosing to daven properly, lishma, they're choosing God. It's as simple as that. As simple as that. So what does it mean, Elohim Acherim? And to understand that, we need to now understand the concept of your what's called Pnimius Ratzon and Chitzonius Ratzon, your inner desire and your external desire. Okay, so we've said this many times before. And we're also going to answer up a question which is a Yom Kippur question, which is by Avinu Malkeinu. We begin Avinu Malkeinu. The first stanza of Avinu Malkeinu is Avinu Malkeinu Chatanu Lefanecha. We sinned before you. Why not just say Chatanu? Chatanu, like we say in other places, why Chatanu Lefanecha? What's it got to do with your face, Abona Shalom? And then when we pick up again, when the Shliach Tzibor begins, it's like a shtickle new beginning. What's the first thing we say? Hachzreinu b'tshuva shleima lefanecha. Why not just Hachzreinu b'tshuva shleima? Why lefanecha? What's this inyan of being choite to his face, doing a sin to his face, and then being returned to his face? And hopefully it's all really the same question what we're asking. Okay. So Elohim Acherim, we said, sorry, first there's Pnimis Ratzon and Chetzonis Ratzon. And then there's Baal Peor. I hope we need to see after the Shema to turn it all together in an order, in an understandable order. Your Pneumius Ratzon is what you really want. And your Chitzonius Ratzon is a means to that end. Yeah. Like we've said over and over, you get in the cab because you want to go to Beverly Hills, and you need the cab driver. So your Pneumius Ratzon is to get to Beverly Hills, and your Chitzonius Ratzon is the cab drive. If you had an option to teleport, you would teleport. Yeah, if you could do it quicker and easier and cheaper, you would do that. So you don't want the cab ride, but it's what we call a necessary evil. It's a means to an end. That's called Chitzonius Ratzon. Okay? And that's the food of Elohim Acherim. Elohim Acherim get energized exclusively by your Chetzonius Aratzon. Why? Because like we said, you can never be choosing anything other than yourself or Hashem. So to think that you're choosing the football team is delusional. You're choosing yourself. Anything that we do wrong, anything that we do is not in line with Ratzon Hashem, we are choosing ourselves. It's just an illusion that we're choosing the football team or the bus of a cholov or the idol even, or the idol. So why does it come out that one guy, for example, the way that we daven to the God of Parnassa, is there's certain avoiders that you need to do to appease the God of Parnassa. Yeah, that could be sometimes opening up your shop on a Shabbos. Okay, so that would be a problem, opening up your shop on a Shabbos, because that's asa. Okay, basically that's asa, and there's a stira between Ratzon Hashem and Ratzon, the God of Parnassa. See, I'm speaking in a funny way, saying the God of Parnassa. But we're talking about the way when the guy turns around to you, say, you can't open your shop, it's Shabbos. He's like, listen, I would really like to not open my shop, but I've got a family, I've got a bunch of little mouths to feed and little feet to put shoes on, which is extremely expensive, and I've got a mortgage to pay. And this is my busiest day. This is the busiest day of the week. And halavai, I'd be able to sit at home and sing Zmiras and eat chulun. But unfortunately, I have to go to work. Sorry. So really what he's doing is saying that there's another independent power in the world. God is not in control of my panasa. My panasa is some other power, some other God. That's what it's called, an other God. So how do you worship? So Shlomi, Solomon, not Solomon, Harry Cohen. How do you worship the God of Parnassa? You have to open your shop on Saturday. That's one of the avoiders that the God of Parnassa requires from you to appease the God of Parnassa, to squeeze out of the God of Parnassa what you want. You have to do that avoider, which is called opening your shop on Shabbos. Clear? Why doesn't he do the fire dance? Why doesn't he put the pants on his head and dance around the totem pole, like striking matches and doing funny stuff like that? That's how you serve the God of fire. Yeah, I'm just making that up. Why is he not worshiping the God of fire? Why is he worshiping the God of Parnassa, but he's not worshiping the God of fire? Because the God of fire isn't really relevant in his life. He doesn't need the God of fire. He needs the God of Parnassa. So the whole thing is, he's not really worshiping the God of Parnassa. He's worshiping himself. He believes that there's another power, but it's always about me. Elohim Acherim is always about me. I'm worshipping only the gods that I need something from. So that's my Chitzonius Aratzon. My Pneumius Aratzon is my own personal needs. Always, 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 always. Yitzi, you got that?
I'm doing it. So
it's subtle. It's subtle. So
it's Hashem or it's me.
That's it.
And if I'm not, if because I want to open my shop on a Shabbos, And that's you're saying,
You
sorry,
don't
yeah?
want to open your shop. You feel that you have to, because if you don't, you won't get money.
And therefore, that's worshiping myself.
Because it's a couple of steps. Let's do it the opposite way. You love yourself and you need to continue to live. And you need also to help your family live as well. Now that requires money. Okay? You don't want money. You want to live.
I want food on the table. I want shoes on my kids' feet.
Yeah. So you don't really want money. What you want is your family to be content and you to be comfortable. But you need money to do that. Okay? Now, how do you get the money? You get the money by working. Now, I don't want to threaten too many people here, but when you feel that the money is not coming from Hashem, you've introduced a new power into creation. If the money's not coming from Hashem, well, where's it coming from? I've called that the God of Parnassa. If you don't think
Hmm.
the money's coming from Hashem, it's coming from somewhere else. You want to call that your hishtadlus. You want to call that your investments. You want to call that the world economy. You want to call that e-commerce. However you want to touch it up. But you're saying that it's from some other power. It's not my Parnassa is not coming directly from God. It's coming from some other power. And I'm proving that to you because there's a steerer right now. This other power right now to give me my money demands me to work on Shabbos. God says, the God of Israel says, don't work on Shabbos. So now if I believed in the God of Israel, I would say, you know what? God of Parnassa, forget you. I'm not working on Shabbos because I worship the God of Israel. But when I say, listen, I would love to do that, but I can't because I have to appease this. I have to earn the money. I have to appease the God of Parnassa, which means I have to open up my shop on Shabbos. That's called Avodah Zarah. That's called Elohim Acherim. That's other gods. But like we said, I'm not worshipping him. I'm really worshipping me. But I've introduced another power. I don't believe in the unity of God. I don't believe in the unity of God, but it's always about me. Meaning, I believe there's other powers. The unity of God means, Hashem Echad means, there's only one force. Everything comes from Hashem. Your health, your children's health, your food, your shidduchim, your everything that you want comes from Hashem. Now, when I break that apart and I don't believe that there's just one power, that there's other powers, my worship of those other powers is actually always a self-worship. Like I said, because why aren't I praying to the God? Why aren't I worshiping the God of fire? Why aren't I worshiping the God of water? Why aren't I worshiping the God of rain? Why doesn't anybody in America worship the God of rain anymore? Because it doesn't really matter. Because you need money, not rain. If you needed rain, you'd push, not you. People who believe in other powers would be worshipping the God of rain. They would be doing whatever they could to appease the God of rain, praying to the God of rain, doing funny things, like rain dances and stuff like that. But it's always because I need the rain or I need the money. It always comes back to me. You with me?
Mm-hmm.
But this is how we feed the Elohim Acherim. So what's the food of the Elohim Acherim? What's their food? Is your Chetzonius Aratzon. Because you're not worshipping them for the sake of the worship. You're worshipping them because they're a necessary evil. They're a means to an end. You're worshipping, not you. The person is worshipping this other power because he needs Parnassa. So he's not worshipping for the sake of worship. We worship Hashem for the sake of worship. That's what it's meant to be. It's an end. Shachris is an end unto itself. It's not about getting stuff, and it's not about having an experience that might come. But it's about shachris. It's about the mitzvah. The mitzvah that's called a mitzvah lishma. So what are we giving to the Elohim Acherim? We're energizing the Elohim Acherim by our Chitzonius Aratzon, not by our Pnimius Aratzon, our Chitzonius Aratzon. Now that in Kabbalah is represented by the backside. Elohim Acherim also means Acharayim, which means the backside. So the waste that comes out of the back of a person or out the back of an animal, that still has enough energy, so to speak. We call that manure. Yeah, that has energy, so to speak, to give life a little bit to soil, and there's certain mosquitoes and flies and all that kind of stuff attracted to that substance. Yeah, it's a revolting, disgusting substance. But that is called the energy. That is a moshel for the acharayim, for energy that you give to something that isn't for its own right. So when you love something as a means to an end, the energy that you're giving to it is comparable to what ends up in the bathroom, what ends up in the bowl in the bathroom. That's what you're giving to it. That's the energy it's getting. It's revolting. It's the most disgusting thing. So think about this like this. When you eat food, yeah, now the way it works is you eat the burger, and your body extracts all of the energy from the burger, yeah, and the rest of it is pushed out. So really, what's pushed out was the container that held the energy. That's what it is. It's the secondary. You don't want the container. You don't need the container. Like you throw away the jam jar. You don't need the jam jar. You need the jam, the jelly, whatever you call it in America. Yeah, the peanut butter. You don't want the Skippy box. There's just no other way of doing it. So you have to take the Skippy container. You eat the Skippy, and you throw away the container. That's how your food works. Your food is packaged in like a pastry, some kind of rugelach. Yeah, you eat the rugelach. Your body extracts the energy, what it needs, what it wants, and the package that it came in, it pushes out the backside, and it's revolting. It's disgusting. It's always disgusting. Secondary ratzon. Yeah, ratzon, chitzonius a ratzon. Ratzon chitzoni is always disgusting. That's why we said when a man loves a woman for her money, a man gets married because she's rich, yeah? Meaning he doesn't love her, he loves the money. He has to put up with her, yeah? That's a recipe for absolute disaster because he's giving her backside energy. The energy that he's giving to her is called acharayim. You with me? That's why we said that when your children aren't an end unto themselves, and we're relating to our children as a means to an end, that causes a rebellion. That's like the number 101 of chinuch, is you're not there to get anything from your children whatsoever. You're there to give to your children. You're there for your children, not to receive from your children anyway. So the minute a person's children become a means to an end, it means we're giving them that filthy substance, and they are revolted and they turn away. That's why it causes rebellion. And the opposite is when you give somebody from your pnimius aratzon, meaning I'm interacting with my child for their sake, then I'm giving them the beautiful energy, the pristine, powerful energy, and that attracts them closer to me. That's how the mechanics work. How do I understand it? So now listen to this. What's Pa'or? The whole union of Pa'or, that's why Pa'or is the archetypal avodah zarah. Because what was the avodah of Pa'or? Was to defecate on the statue, by the statue. That is the most potently visual graphic of what we've just spoken of. It's exactly what it is. The way that the energy that the avodah zarah is receiving from the mensch comes from the backside. That's it. So that's Peor. And that's when Moshe got buried. Mul Peor. This is not, I'm not saying this. This is the way I understood the Arizal, is that Moshe Al Pi Kabbalah is what's called the Yesoda Abba, whatever that means. It's a very high holy thing, yeah. Hashem placed him Mul Peor in the face of Peor to stop all the energy that's coming from Am Yisrael to avoid Zara. The kavua of Moshe Rabbeinu, the keva, the burial place of Moshe Rabbeinu, was a chesed gadol ad ma'oid from the Bon Shalom to stop the energy that we were giving. He kind of Moshe kind of like a power shield. You can imagine some of those Marvel films, and they're like, or like in Superman, in Superman when he like would stop, he'd deflect the rays kind of thing. That's the way I envisioned it. That the burial of Moshe ended up in the place opposite Peor, meaning that the energy that was coming from the backside of Yisrael, yeah, gets stopped by Moshe, by the Yesoda Abba. The energy that's coming out of the back of Zampin, which is Yisrael, gets stopped, gets prevented by Moshe of going into the Peor. That was the whole Inyan. That's how I understood the Arizal there. So what's that got to do with Avinu Malkeinu and Yom Kippur? And this is everything. If we can understand this is everything about Yom Kippur, is everything about everything we do wrong. It really is. Because we say Avinu Malkeinu chatanu lefanecha, meaning it depends how bad. Maybe we weren't doing crazy bad things. Yeah, maybe we weren't out there, raping and pillaging and murdering. Maybe we weren't even speaking Lashon Hara particularly. Maybe we weren't wasting seed. Maybe we were doing okay, especially compared to last year. And we definitely beat ourselves up when we do something wrong. And we're trying to avoid Averas the whole time. But no matter what Madrega you're on, the Avera is lefanecha. Meaning, I'm not saying that we weren't doing Averas, but just if we weren't doing Averas, the real Avera is chatanu lefanecha, meaning we weren't in front of you. We had our back to you. Meaning we were davening it was all about us. It's all about us. We chatanu lefanecha. We were choiter to your face, meaning that we weren't turned towards you. That's the real Avera. The other stuff is graphics. So don't get me wrong. There's a din v'cheshbon and there's a base din lamala, base din shemata, and we do get punished and held accountable for the things that we do wrong. But the real Avera is that we're just not there for you, Rabbanu Shalom. We got caught up in thinking that things are really about us. We got confused. We got deluded. We got the what's it called, the bait and switch. And we took center role of reality when in fact we're here to serve. And that's chatanu lefanecha. So what's the first thing we ask after we've done that? The first thing that we say berabim is v'achzireinu b'tshuva shalema lefanecha. But we're desperate to just get this right for your sake. You've invested so much into this. Yeah, I'm just here for, 120 years. I come, I go. You can replace me again. I'm not particularly special. I'm not going to go down. Even the greatest man in history, he's also not, he doesn't, it's not even about him. I just want to get this right. I just want to get this clear. Please, help me get this clear. Put me back in front of you. Let me realize that it's all about you. I'm here to serve. And that's really what Yom Kippur is. Yom Kippur is basically turning from being back to being front. It's just the avodah of turning around 180 degrees. And that's shaykh to everyone, whether you're big Baal Madrega and a big Tzaddik, or whether you're a big Rasha, we still need to constantly turn around. And the Madregas of Lishma never end. So when you think that you're Lishma, once you get to the next Madrega of Lishma, you'll look back in a few months' time and you'll realize that that wasn't Lishma. Now you've got into a new Madrega of Lishma. And that Rabbi Nachman speaks about doing tshuva on the tshuva, and also that Alter Rebbe speaks about doing tshuva on the tshuva. And that's the inyan of there's no end to how much you can make Hashem the center of your life, or should I say that you should make your life in context of the Ribono Shel Olam's reality. There's no end. It keeps going deeper and deeper and deeper. And that's our avodah, and that's the avodah of Yom Kippur, and that's what we learned from Moshe's kavur opposite Baal Peor, B'ezrat Hashem, or one of the things. Should have a ksira chesima tova, or a gemach chesima tova now, and should be zeicha to a good day of fasting and tshuva and tzedakah and tefillah and all the things we need to do, B'ezrat Hashem.